Alright, so now we're going to start off the Algebra 2 final review. And so if you guys have all of this already, I'm just going to do it all on my paper. That's number 1. Solve this by factoring. Right, so factors of 8 that add up to 6. Factors of 8 that add up to 6. 2 and 4. Multiply to 8 and give me 6 when I add. So it's factors. X and X. 2 and 4. Now, both sides have to be positive. You have to solve this. Okay, those are your answers here. Number 2, I to 31. So we take 30. We have to remember that I equals I squared, I to the third equal to negative I, and I to the fourth equals 1. So I'm going to divide 31 by 4, we get 7, the remainder of 3. The remainder is what the I is equal to. So this I to the 31 equals I to the third because of that remainder, which is equal to, negative I. This is our final answer. Alright, number 3. Simplify. This is just combining like terms. This tells me to change the signs here and here. This is negative 7I minus 3. 6 minus 7 is negative 1, so negative I. 4 minus 3 is 1, plus 1. Okay, or if we saw it, oops, it's wrong, sorry. Or as 1 minus I. That's how you're going to see it on the test. Number 4. Simplify and write in standard form. So 4 plus 3I times 2 plus I. Distribute. Combine terms and change I squared to negative 1. 4 and 6 is 10. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Combine terms again. 5 plus 10I. Alright, number 5. Put solutions and we solve this. So we add 64. Take the square root. Plus minus 8. Right? Or you factor. This factors to x plus 6, x plus 8 rather. X minus 8. So when you solve both of those, we get x equals plus or minus 8. the same thing either way. Number 7. 3x squared plus 12x plus 14 equals 0. Alright, so do the quadratic formula. So a is equal to 3. So I'm going to start by using the discriminant. So b squared, so 12 squared minus 4 times 3 times 14. If you can get this answer, you'll be able to do it a little bit easier on the test. Get negative 24. So do negative 12 plus or minus the square root of negative 24 all over 2 times 3. I'm going to keep simplifying this. So negative 12 plus or minus. Simplify this, and I comes out. Let's break down 24. 12 and 2. 6 and 2. So a 2 comes out. Over 6. Now we can simplify this. Negative 12 divided by 6 is negative 2, plus or minus. 2 over 6, it goes in 1, so just up. 2 goes into 6 3 times. That would be our final answer. Alright, so number 8. Let's subtract 2y squared minus 2y plus 7 minus 4y squared minus 3y plus 6. Right. And this changes all the signs. Combined terms, 2 minus 4 is negative 2y squared. Negative 2 plus 3 is plus y. 7 minus 6 is plus 1. Get our answer. Number 9, greatest monomial factor. We have a 36, 6, and a 3. 3 is the only thing that goes into all of those. I have an x to the 4th, an x squared, and an x to the 3rd. Of all those, the smallest exponent is an x squared. Then we have a y to the 3rd, a y to the 6th, and a y to the 4th. Smallest exponent there is y to the 3rd. So that's the answer. Alright, number 10. Number 10 factor, so x to the 3rd minus 27. This is also written as x to the 3rd minus 3 to the 3rd. Alright, 3 thirds is 27. The formula is going to be a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. Alright, so we substitute these in, so we get x minus 3 times x squared minus 3x, sorry, plus 3x, plus 9. So 3 squared is 9. That's our answer. Alright, number 11. Small plane takes off, climbs steadily but quickly, descends gradually, and then to cruising altitude. Alright, number 12. Simplify 9x to the 7th, y to the 4th, all over 3x to the 3rd, y to the 6th. 9 divided by 3 is 3, 7 minus 3 is 4. 4 minus 6 negative. It's going to stay down here as y squared. There's more y's in the bottom. Alright, number 13. Simplify. So 81, which is identically adjusted. Right, 81 over 27 goes in 3 times. A. So more b's on the bottom, so we'll b to the third down here. There's a 1 minus 4, which is negative 3. And here we have negative 5 minus 1, which is negative 6. So c to the 6 will stay down there. 14. So we have to realize that the cubic function looks like this. So when we put it here, that's x squared x to the third minus 1. Negative 1 means it comes to here. Follow the same path. Alright, so that's our answer there. Goes in opposite directions when you have an odd exponent. Alright, moving on. Numbers now. 15. 4 negative 3 over 2. Right. So the 2 means it's going to be the square root. We have 4 to the third. Square root of 4 is 2. The third is 8. However, that negative means this has to be a fraction. So it is over 1. So the cube root of 81 over the cube root of 3. So we're going to write that as the cubed root. 81 divided by 3. 27. The cube root of 27 is 3. 17. Solve this. The inverse of the cube root is to cube both sides. So this cancels. We get x equals 3 to the third is 27. 18. Graph the function. So we have to realize the parent function of the square root function looks like this. Right. Then we have translations. This says the right one, this says up one. So this is going to go right one, up one. So what we're going to have is something that looks like that. For the cube root of x plus 2 equals 12. We'll divide by 4. Cube root of x plus 2 equals 3. Cube both sides. 3 cubed, 27, minus 2, x equals 25. Let's stop this. Square both sides. This is where most of you guys are going to make your mistake. When you square this, a FOIL. And distribute FOIL. So x squared minus 4x plus 4 equals, I'm going to bring this over here. I'm going to bring over the 4x. And I'm also going to bring over the 12. Alright, then we have to factor again. So x plus 4, x plus 4 equals 0. When we solve this, what we get is x equals 4, negative 4. The multiplicity 2. Because we get it twice. Same answer twice. Once again, I know I'm going quick, but you just pause and rewind as you need to. Alright, 21. Solve for x. Square both sides. Good for the radicals. X minus 2 equals 3. That ends up being a pretty easy problem. 22. What's 22? Put 22 right next to this one. Domain and range of this. Well, for the domain, let's see x values. So whatever's under here, x minus 3 must be greater than or equal to 0. Alright. The range, we look here, nothing is out here. It could be like a plus 3, a plus 4. There's no shift there. So if we look at what this looks like, this graph looks like this. So we said domain is x greater than or equal to 3 because all of my x values must be greater than or equal to this 3 here. My y values, the range, must be greater than or equal to 0. And anything above the x-axis. So these are my answers. Three. So if the graph of this is shifted 4 down, 1 left, right? What happens there? 1 left was the opposite, so plus 1, and then minus 4. That's where these come from. 24. So we have y equals 2x to the second minus 3x plus 5 over x squared minus 9. So get our vertical asymptotes. Take x squared minus 9, so they equal to 0 and solve. horizontal asymptotes, and these are even degrees, right? 2 over 1 is just 2. So y equals p over q, which is just leading coefficients, which is just 2. 25. Inverse of 2x plus 4. Right, 3 steps. That changes to y. Now we switch the variables. Solve for y. Minus 4. Divide everything by 2. Y equals this divided by 2 gives us x over 1 over 2 x. Negative 4 over 2. Negative 2. So this is, so f, the inverse is 1/2 x minus 2. 26. So if you use composition, what we mean by that is f of g of x and g of f of x. Both of those equal x, then they are inverses. So I'm going to start with the first one. I'm going to do 3. 1/3 x minus 1 plus 3. Right. Distribute this. This times this is just x. This times this is negative 3 plus this 3. We get x. And I have to do it also over here the other way. 1/3 of 3x plus 3, and then plus that 3. Distribute. We just get x. Excuse me. This should be minus 1. I'm sorry. Minus 1. So minus. That gives us plus 1. Then the minus 1 comes down. Cancels. We get x. So yes, they are inverses. Alright, 27. 330 degrees. So it's 270 to 360. Should we draw the arrow? How do we draw it? This is 330. 28, reference angle. Reference angle of 150. So we draw 150. Right. Reference angle means what's left over here. So 180 minus 150 is 30 degrees. Okay. Moving on to the next one. Number 29. So we have this. It's because here 0.5 is between 0 and 1. So it is a decay. You have to graph 3x plus 4. So this is a rational function. It'll look something like this. It's up 4. Okay. 31. Right, so the formula you use for all these types of problems is this. That could be minus if it was a decay. Purchase it for $200, and up 15%. So 15%, 0.15. So 1 plus 0.15 is 1.15. After 14 years. 14 years. 32. What's a logarithmic form of 3 to the 5th equals 729. So 3 is the base, so log base 3 of this, decimal, 729 is equal to 5. Solution. 16. What is this equal to? So 1/2 to what power? So 2 to the 4th equals 16. So because it's going from a fraction to a whole number, it's going to be -4. So again, 2 to the 4th is 16. Fraction to non-fraction, we make it negative. 34 log base 4, 27 minus 2 log base 4 of 3. Right. So first I'm going to bring this as an exponent. Three squared. Fraction means divide. 3 squared is 9. 27 by 9 is 3. Right, and 35 is identical. So 3 log of x plus log of 3. Right, that goes as an exponent. Plus means to multiply. So write this 3x to the third. I'm going to squeeze in a few more right over here, 36. The inverse f of x into the x. So I'll show you a long way. So we'll change this to y equals x equals. Now to solve for an exponent we use a log function. So log of x equals log of 10. The y comes to the front. Log of 10 cancels. So y equals it's the inverse of the inverse. Okay. And lastly, squeeze in 37 right down here. The end behavior. 3x to the 4th. So an x goes to infinity, right? This whole function is going up, and this function looks like this, essentially, in terms of end behavior. So when x goes to infinity and negative infinity, the function also goes to infinity. However, with negative radical x, this function looks like this. So as x goes to infinity this way, the function is negative. And as the function goes to negative infinity, There's nothing over here, so it's undefined. Okay, pretty straightforward. Alright, those would be all of the multiple choice. Now we're looking at the open-ended. Really isn't going to be too bad. So this first one here, we have to realize we want the dimensions of this box three-dimensionally. So let's do a quick sketch. Okay, so once this is folded up, right, once we fold this up, this here, those would have a height, right, so that's the value of this, x. That makes this shorter than the whole thing. This is x, this is x, what is this? Well, the whole thing's 8, take away this, take away this. 8 minus 2x. Same thing happens on this side. Minus 2x. And so those are all going to be our dimensions, length, width, and height. So for number 38, volume of a box, we have x, length times width times height. So we said 8 minus 2x times 7 minus 2x times x. Oh, a little blurry. Alright. Okay. Now let's just distribute. 8 times 7 is 56. 8 times negative 2 is negative 16x minus 14x plus 4x squared. Combine these. This whole thing is multiplied by x. So I'm multiplying right in standard form. So this times this is 4x to the third minus 30x squared minus plus 56x. Now this is in inches cubed, cubic inches. That's the answer. In 39, two functions. A circle and a parabola. The question is, when are these going to intersect? Right? The plane collides, meaning point of intersection. Part is 3 ways to do this. We can graph, which we can't do without a calculator really. Eliminate or substitute. And part B basically says, is there a collision? We're not going to answer that until we put part C. To solve this, I'm going to substitute. X squared is equal to this. So I'm going to put 9 minus 8y right into here for the x squared plus y squared equals 25. That's going to minus 25. So here we get y squared minus 8y minus 16 equals 0. Now to solve this, you have to use the quadratic formula. The test you won't have to. It'll work out. So I'm just going to change this to a plus so I can factor. So on the test you're going to have to factor. So y and y, factor to 16 to add up to 8, we negative 4 and negative 4. So what happens is y equals negative 4. Right? Go back to either equation, plug it in. So we use this first one and get the answer for x. This will give us our coordinate. Right, so we get 9 plus 32. Ooh, this is a positive 4, positive 4, positive 4. Alright, we solve down here. positive 4. We get 9 minus 32. X squared. So negative 23 equals x squared, square root. We can't take the square root of a negative. This is imaginary. Meaning there's no point of collision. If there was an answer, that would be the coordinate with this y, and then you would say, yes, there is a point of collision, this is the point. But here there is no point of collision. Alright. Number 40. So for 3 years, the balance in your account is $800. So for 3 years, the balance is $800. For 9 years, the balance is $2,500. That's all we had to do. Just write those as coordinates. So that's how we would see this on a graph. Last one, 41. So Norton was in 4 hours, both. Do it in 2.5. And Jesse does it in X. We don't know. So put into an equation to set this up. So 1 over Norton's time times the time it takes them to do it together, plus 1 over Jesse's time it takes them to do it together, equals 1. 1 meaning one job completed. For being able to solve this, you multiply by the common denominator, which is 4x. Everything is multiplied by 4x. Here the 4 cancels. We get 2.5x. Here the x cancels. 2.5 times 4. 4x cancels. 4x, x is canceled. This times this. Put 10 equals 1.5. X divided 1.5. So x equals 6.67 hours. Length it takes, or time it takes, Jesse to cut the lawn. Alright, that is it. I wish you guys luck on your test. Any questions, just email me. Any mistakes I made, just email me. I'll correct it. I'll throw up a shorter video to show the corrections. Good luck.